Hey, what's up, folks? This is Ron Simplified Myers coming to you today. For those that are curious, no, I didn't get in trouble yesterday. Actually, my wife said it was okay that I cut my goatee, but it was good that I didn't cut the mustache because she said, no, you can't do that. So I guess I got away with that one. But anyway, today I wanted to come to you and talk to you a little bit about something that was kind of on my mind. It had to do with positive thinking. And the reason I wanted to cover that topic is because in one of the programs that I'm in, one of my friends came into the chat room and he was talking about the fact that he saw an article that was a pretty negative article. And so he commented on it and gave a positive perspective. And all of a sudden he got swarmed with people that came and basically attacked him for being positive. They told him that positive people are unrealistic and that's kind of the world that they live in. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. The reason is because thinking, whether it's positive or negative, is just a decision that you've made. Situations just occur. Things in life will happen. The way you take that is totally up to you. It's negative or positive. That's your perspective. Again, it doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just, it is what it is. Now, some people choose to look at things and look at everything from a negative side, and then they call that keeping it real. Well, I'm here to inform you that keeping it real works on both sides. If I choose to look at a situation and look for the positives in that, that is real for me. This subject about positive and negative is so funny to me because everything comes down to the way you live your life, the way you see things. Again, is your perspective. And then we want to justify it the way we see the world, and then we call that right. Well, right again is really just depends on where you're sitting at the time. I forgot the name of the movie, but there was a movie that showed an incident that occurred, and like 8 different people from different directions saw the same event, and they were able to tell a story pretty much from each one of their perspectives. Well, none of them were right or wrong. They were right according to the person that saw it and the way they perceived the incident occurred. But none of the stories were the same. We hear that all the time when people, the old thing we used to do when we were younger, you tell a story and it goes on and on, everybody passes along, and then the story comes out different at the end. The reason is people kind of tell things from where they sit, where they live, where they, where the way they view the world. And then for some reason we have a tendency to call that the truth, and it's right, and it is, that's the way it is. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's just your way of looking at things, and it doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just your view. What creates wars, what creates relationship issues, all the different negativity that comes into our world comes because people don't accept the fact that people see the world differently than you. Now, if you choose to come at the world from a negative way of living, that's okay. Just don't complain about it. That's all positive people are doing, is they're taking a situation, whether you consider it negative, whether you consider it positive, it doesn't really matter. What they're doing is they're going to look for the positives in that specific situation, because looking for the positive allows you the opportunity to try to figure out a way out of it. If you're negative, all you're going to do is sit there and complain and whine and blame the world. And I'm in this because my mama, because my daddy, because the government. Because that's what negative people do. They blame the world for their life. What you have to realize is looking for the positives is looking for a way to get the situation resolved. For those of you who love the negative world, that's okay. Again, keep it to yourself. The rest of us don't want to hear about it. Because all you do is drain us and you bring us down. So if you call that being positive and being unrealistic, I enjoy the world of being unrealistic. I have never met anyone successful in their life that lived in a negative world. So for those of you who do love that world, look around you and see the people that are participating with you. And the chances are very, very good none of them are living the lifestyle that they want to live. Why? Because people that succeed don't live in a negative environment. Because they don't go hand in hand. I use the example of, let's say, for example, you're in a quicksand. Who do you want there to help you? A person that's sitting there going, well, this is why you're in the quicksand, because if you hadn't did this, and I'm just keeping it real. Or do you want someone that says you're in the quicksand? Now that's real. But you know what? We're going to get you out. We're going to figure out a solution and how to get you out of this. I already know the answer. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take the person that's going to help you with the solution. If you had a doctor, for example, if a doctor comes and gives you bad news, the bad news, it is what it is. Now, do you want somebody to sit there going, poor you? Yeah, it ain't right. I don't know why those things happen to you. And then they're going to quit on you and just let you die. Why? Because they look at the world from a negative perspective. Or do you want a doctor that says, here's the situation, but you know what? We're going to fight this thing to the end, and I'm going to figure out a solution. Why? Because looking for the positives means I'm going to strive forward in order to try to get this resolved. I know I probably sound pretty excited or pumped up or whatever words you want to use, but the reason is because it does bother me when I hear negative people justify their life and then try to bring you down in the process because that's where they want to live. That old saying, misery loves company, it does. And that is definitely referring to negative people. That's where they live, and they want everybody to hang out there with them. Why? It allows them to justify why their life is the way it is. Here's an exercise that I would recommend even you negative people to try today. And I know this is going to be work if this is something you've done all the time, which is look at the negative for everything, is before you go to bed tonight, try and look at all the positive things that actually occurred in your life and really focus on those things and really get into them and experience the positivity. And I guarantee you will have a great night's sleep. It'll probably be the first night that you've ever had a good night's sleep. Why? Because most of the time you go to sleep, you're so negative, you can't go to sleep. And then you're tossing and turning. Why? Because you got negative thoughts going on. But the key is, if you change that perspective, you'll have a great night's sleep. Why? Because you're looking at how to move forward in your life. Again, I'm not saying negative situations don't occur. That occurs in everyone's life. The difference is, how do you perceive what has occurred is going to dictate what you're going to do from this point forward. And if you choose to be negative, you're going to go sit in the corner with your thumb in your mouth and cry and whine and blame everybody else. If you look for the positive, that means you're going to start to look for how can I get out of this, or maybe to make sure I never get in this situation again. But the thing is, that's what positivity does for you. So again, I hope that helped. I know I might get some negative feedback also because people will try to justify why they're negative. You're negative because you choose to be. That's the bottom line. Negativity or positive is totally a choice. It's just an attitude. It's just a perception. It's the way you see the world. I use tragedy as an example. I tell people, you know what? There are people that celebrate when there's a death. It's the way they perceive. There's people that cry and get hysterical when death occurs. It's the way they perceive. Neither one is right, neither one is wrong, but it is the way that they choose to perceive things, and then they're going to live their life accordingly. So with that said, I will close with a belief that I have, and that's that it ain't right, it ain't wrong, it is my opinion. And adding to that is like Les Brown says, and I'm going to stick to it. Talk to you soon. Take care. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.